Welcome to Din's Talk, the space where soul wisdom meets bold action. I'm Mia Dins, your host, here to ignite your fire, help you claim your power, and guide you to take unstoppable steps towards your dream. Every episode is designed to awaken your purpose, fuel your passion, and spark transformation in your life. It's time to step into your truth and never stop. Let's dive in.
Hello, guys. This is an amazing episode to tune into. We talk about human body, the cells, how trauma is stored in the body, and how it can actually lead to really massive blockages to diseases. I have Anna as my guest. She is not just one of my soul sisters, my dear soul family, part of that, but she's also so knowledgeable, and she shares her own experiences. She's like a mystic, a healer, dancer, and merges human design, really is talking about the cellular upgrades that are coming for us, which is so exciting, and how to really tune into your body on a daily basis. And I really am grateful for this episode. We talk about also connecting to the spirit, and because we are both mediums, and also sharing my own experience that I had with her with one of our human design sessions, which really helped me to tune more into my energy, to learn about how to process information and to acknowledge my needs in order to show up as my best potential self. So you really don't want to miss this episode. I'm so grateful. It was such a beautiful flow between us, and I hope you will enjoy this episode as much as I did. There's so much to take away for you if you are receptive to that, and if you feel like called to do it. And as I always say, guys, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't resonate with you. If something goes too much into the other or is not aligned with you, that's totally fine. We are all here to be very different. So yeah, have fun, enjoy, and let me know in the comments below what resonated with you. What was something, a key message for you that you heard during this episode? And if you have any questions, just DM me, message me directly. I'm always happy to hear from you. So enjoy and much love. Welcome, guys, to another episode with Din's Talk. Today, I have a very special guest on, very dear to my heart. She's like my soul sister. And although we haven't met in person yet, we are so connected because, guys, as you know, we speak energy, and that's what we do. I'm so excited about this episode. There's so much to talk about, and I cannot wait to share that all with you. But nevertheless, no further ado, I want Anna. Hey, my beautiful soul sister, I want you to introduce yourself first. Just, I know it's always this question: who are you, what you're doing, and to put it into 2 sentences. So no pressure. I know there will be more revealed throughout our chat, obviously. So yeah, just tell us about a little bit about yourself, and that's all yours now.
Hello, Mia. Thank you so much for hosting me today. I'm so excited and thrilled because it's a really magic moment happening, I feel. My name is Anna, and who I am. I'm just a human being having a human experience here on Earth, and I'm a dreamer. I'm an holistic advocate, and that believes in magic on a daily basis, mostly. And I feel the need to connect deeply with myself every day. And what I do, I try to transmute and transmit this to other people externally every day.
Beautiful. I love that. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I feel like, like you are obviously, I remember when we first connected, and, you're dancer, healer, the mystic, and you merged all together, human design. There's so much to unpack, and I'm sure it won't be the last episode that we're on together. So firstly, because right now the topic for my listeners is all about the body, like really coming back to the body, because as you know, I love movement. I have been an athlete my entire life, and I'm bridging the unseen with the seen and bringing it back into the physical, really embodying it. Because as you beautifully started, you said, like, I'm a soul, here for this human experience, and that's what we are. No matter how much is happening in the quantum and in energetic, world, we have to bring it back here. We are here for this experience and, honor the body. And I know you have been a dancer. That's one of your biggest imprints and passions and an expression of your soul. So tell us a bit about that, and how has that shaped your life and your connection to your body, your intuition and your frequency, basically.
Yes, dancer, it's a big word, but I use my body to move. Yes, and I started when I was very, very like a child. I was 5 years old. I did ballet, and then while I'm growing up, I tried different ways of dancing, and what I understood was that the body was giving me these signals of when I where to stop, when I could flow. And I tried to use the creativity I have in myself with dancing and with moving the body mostly. So the more I grow up, I spent a time in my life where I was not dancing at all. And in that moment of my life, actually, a lot of things happened. And only after a big period of stop, I started to dance again, and I became a burlesque dancer that was absolutely out of my comfort zone, but that helped me to heal from a very big experience that I had in my life, and brought me back to the essence of who I am, and brought me back to reconnect with myself, with my body, and to, the flow in my life, the energy that I could feel.
Beautiful. You know how I love to untangle that, and I feel like because there was so much goodness in there, and also for the listeners, because I obviously always like to go into these parts. I have been a dancer myself, for not like you, differently. However, I have, through when I was studying sports science, I did like a thesis on like, the rhythmic gymnastics dancers, and how eating disorders and distorted body image and stuff is really a big problem. I also have experienced that, had friends who had really trouble with that, including myself. And so firstly, the first question I had, and it's very interesting possibly to know, did you have that yourself? Did you lose a little bit like the image of your body, or did you compare yourself? Because it's quite common in this, in this world there, especially around that time, also I remember you told me offline once that your teacher was Russian, and they bring in this Eastern European, these standards, these conditionings. That is, I know it because I've been growing up in this environment. That's my first question. And my second question is, when did you stop dancing? What age was that? And if you want, you can share what happened and then how you found your way back. But let's go into the first question first.
Sure. So, as I told you before, I was a child. I was probably between 6 years old, 7 years old that I started. And yes, my teacher was Russian, and she had a way of teaching that was very, very harsh on us as kids, like quite aggressive, I would say, but that was her method. And so I grew up with, and obviously I was doing ballet, and ballet, it's very restricted. You really had to have a particular kind of body shape, and you are judged for that, for sure. I was feeling judged, but I was too small to really reconnect and feel, the judgment, or to feel even the competition that was not there, because I was too small to feel it. But definitely in my body, I feel now that I'm older, I can see back, and I can see that the body stored that memory of a rigid method, that allowing yourself to be yourself was not right, that you had to follow rules, that you had to be in fear most of the time, because if you were not performing as they wanted to be, you were punished. So punishment was a big point. So while I grew up, it was probably between around 8, 9 years old. Obviously, why I stopped because, first of all, my family was seeing Anna, struggling going to dance. And I was not going like just to have fun, but I was going and crying and not feeling myself. So, and also it was too far from the place I was living. So my family decided to just stop. I started to do other kind of dances. Meanwhile, I was doing contemporary, I was doing hip hop dance. I was around 14 years old. And then when I grew up, around 18, I did salsa and bachata. So it was a completely different way of approaching dancing. So even if I had a bad experience when I was small, anyway, I continued to tap into the dancing. And yes, I completely stopped dance when I was 18. That was the big chunk. I didn't feel connected anymore. And I started just around 2021, 2022. And I am dancing a little bit now. So I continue to dance from then on. And yeah, this is it. And now I can, obviously, the focus shift now because I have an understanding and a completely different way of approaching the dance, because I know it's not for someone else. It's not to become the ballerina. Now it's for myself. And I do dance because I love to move my body and I love to express my body. And this is the best way for me to do it.
Beautiful. I absolutely love that. And because based on my own experience, like what you said, the restriction and having to fit a certain image, and they were really strict on that. So do you feel like that there was a lot of unconditioning for you to do throughout your life that was reflected in every areas of your life like for me, for example, I had this belief system that I'm only loved when I have physical achievements, athletic achievements. That's why I had such a hard time to first stop athletics, because I thought that's why my mom, my parents love me, because I'm winning or I'm doing something, and that still lingered on a while in my life. And still there are some little imprints right now. They're not as strong, but of course they are there. And it's not about not achieving or not wanting to have goals, or, like when I was boxing as well, not winning. It's not about that, but it's like the belief system that's attached to that, being attached to the outcome, and linking that to being loved or not loved. That because knowing that you're loved and worthy, no matter if you win or not, or achieve something, So could you relate to that?
100%, because when I stopped dancing, I was doing athletics. When I stopped dancing, I was doing athletics as well. And that was all about, become the first place and winning and achieving and pushing and making sure that, mom and dad were coming to watch you. And so you have to perform even there. It was a performance. And also that applied a lot in any other areas of my life, especially in that age where you are a teenager. Imagine that I try to be also to win. So I tried to compete as a pageant. So I was, trying to win this queen of the night, queen of beauty. And this was all competition. And it was competition on a body level, it was competition on a mental level. And I just realized that in my life, I always try to compete to be at the first, to be seen mostly. So that was all about it, all about the dance, all about the athletics, all about all I was doing, even at school with the teachers, always being seen as the first, as see me, watch me, I'm good, I'm a good girl. Just prize. That was definitely part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally understand and relate to that. And it's important for the listeners to understand that this was your conditioning. You know, that was a belief system you inherited. It wasn't even you. And then for you to see and then to decide, do I want to keep that, or how do I want to reframe that? And now you do the dancing, like you said. Dancing is a movement in general, not just dancing. You know, like but moving, just moving the body and whatever flow. And I love even the videos you put on your Instagram. By the way, guys, I will leave all the contacts of Anna here below. Then you can watch that and follow her journey, which is amazing. Um, and just expressing yourself, because when I started dancing, I was about 14 myself, and it was for me actually an expression of like being seen, being heard. But for me to I started doing it in my room, watching empty videos and visualizing, oh, I'm a dancer, like all the stuff. And then I was in a dance group from the 15 onwards until 25, 26, no, 25. Yeah. So, and it was really an emotional release, expression, and it's a beautiful way of doing that. And the movement, right? So you have had a very much a big healing journey you went through anyways. If you wanted to share this here, what your healing journey is about and what you've experienced and how it shaped you, and changed your perception and also your relationship with the body, because from your experience as well. And I just want to add that, because we're so quick on judging our body all the time, we're just demanding, you're not good enough, this is not working, or whatever. But it's all about appreciation. And then once things are taken away, or they don't function, or we fall sick or whatever, then we actually start seeing how truly miraculous our bodies are. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking me this question. Yes, I've been diagnosed in at the end of the 2020 pandemic time. I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And since then, I really had to stop, pause, and listen to my body. Because yes, I was trying to listen to it before that, but I never really and honestly did it. And after that diagnosis, I had to. I was absolutely in a mind space that I had to make a decision if I wanted to be the victim of this diagnosis, or if I wanted to fight and to find a way out of it. So what I did, I just went through all the options I had, and I started to listen to my body. And so while I was offered all the different ways of dealing with cancer, that was surgery, it was radiotherapy, it was chemotherapy. So my body said yes to surgery. My body said yes to radiotherapy, even if during radiotherapy I had very bad headaches. And honestly, the body was kind of, I'm dealing with this. I know you can get through it, but it's still like not really good, and like it's not really good for you, but we need to do it. So I take you through it. And then when the chemotherapy option had to be done, my body said, no, I don't want that. And that's the point where I started to really embrace my intuition, my body connection, and I also applied the knowledge I had, because I have a pharmaceutical degree, and I started to research, to do the research on studies, and to work with them. And I noticed that in my case, with my stage of breast cancer, with the genetic that was not involved in it, I really could, let's say, escape the chemotherapy and the hormonal therapy that every doctor was like shocked when I refused to do. And everybody was really pointing the finger and saying, you're crazy, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. And I'm like, you watch me. And I did it. And now it's 5 years and I am cancer-free. And what happened me to go and to come to this point, it was not just, changing my diet, changing my lifestyle, listening more to my body, but it was dancing. It was helping the energy to go through my body that I wasn't doing before. And yeah, that's when I started to do burlesque. And that was not only the movement of the body, but it was the expression of the body, the expression of soul, and the expression of my creativity that was so much locked and in a cage. I was caged in a gold cage. So yeah, this is the experience I had.
Beautiful. Such a courageous act to do, especially going against the grain when actually you're facing the fear of possibly dying. That's because that's in our minds, right? That's a conditioning. Oh, cancer equals death at some point if we don't treat it right. It's a very, very courageous act, and I really want to point this out because this means you really trusted your soul. It was beyond logic. The logical mind would have absolutely told you, do the thing, follow the structure, do the chemo, do this, do that. Look, I'm gonna take this in front. Just saying to all the listeners, I'm not a health professional. I'm not recommending anything here. And saying that chemo is, like bad. Whoever is choosing school medicine, do that totally if that's aligned with you. It is absolutely not aligned with my body. And was obviously not aligned with your body, but really then making this decision in that moment when everybody's telling you, and you were then standing alone on the other side and completely trusting that. It's such a courageous act to do. So I really, really commend you for that, and I want you to really celebrate yourself for that as well. And look at that, how beautiful after 5 years. Yay, guys! 5 years cancer-free.
I want to say as well, absolutely, as I said before, that worked for me for the condition I had in that moment. And I'm not saying that you don't have to look into chemotherapy. It's a decision that it's made with what you feel like it's the most safest for you. So what is safest for you, just do it. For me, it was not safe, but for everybody else is different.
Absolutely. And here we come to this beautiful message we get through our body, the full body yes, or the body now. And that is, I know we work like that, and we work together and help each other to remind each other of that. And everyone has their own unique signals and language in that way. And I just wanted to for some, for the listeners who are possibly not so connected to their bodies, possibly maybe they haven't done sports like we do, from an early age, and they just don't know, because often people ask me how can you practice that, and I want to ask you from your experience, like a practical exercise. And I know you did it once with me in a session, which I really loved, and maybe you want to do it, showcase here, how to recognize a full body yes and a full body no. And of course it takes practice. It doesn't happen overnight, especially when you have a lot of voices and you're fully stressed. Let's say you're a mother of 3 children, you have a full-time job, you have a partner, you have a household to do, and then what the fuck? Now I'm meant to listen to my body, yes or no? How can we simplify that for people like that?
Well, I think, look, few things. The very first one is just stop and breathe. So the breath is I call it the only certain thing we know about our body, because that's the first thing you do when you wake up. Actually, you always do it, but you recognize it and you realize you're breathing when you wake up in the morning, right? Open your eyes. The breath helps. So stop and breathe. Just take a deep breath. That's all that will anchor you in the now. Second, we have a heart. Our heart, it's biting, and it's here to remind us that we are alive. So just put a hand on your heart. take a breath and just try to feel that heartbeat that's going. And that's the second thing we have in our body. Third thing you can use is your belly, your stomach. So the other hand can go on your belly, and while you're breathing, you feel the belly rising and going down. And that is it. That's it. The breath, the heartbeat, and your belly. You don't have to do anything else to anchor yourself to your body in a moment where there's a lot of thoughts going on. It's stop. But most importantly, it's the action you do in stop yourself and put the intention to feel it. Because even if we say any kind of tool here, we can recommend any kind of practice or technique. If you are not willing to access that action of stop yourself and look at your body, any kind of tool has no power. It's starting from your decision of taking action towards feeling your body.
Very powerful. I love that. And I can just share that myself. I do that in the morning. The first thing I do is taking some deep breath in and out. I have one hand on my heart, one hand on my belly, on my womb space. Really, I'm just breathing, taking this time and really feel what's going on. What do you need? And it's just like, it doesn't take long, guys. It's just literally 1 minute, whatever you can spare, of course. And you get instantly calming down the nervous system, because it's one of my passions to talk about, and we both love it. Because we can do, and that's what we realize as well, because in whatever way, when we want to expand, we want to have, call in the more abundance, the love, whatever it is. If we don't have the capacity to hold that, if our nervous system is not wired for it, we can do all the actions on the outside. We will just not be able to receive it. It just simply is. And I know we work a lot, because we work on my financial abundance, on my scarcity thinking, because it's a big imprint, guys, as you know, that I'm bringing in and that I really work with. And it's for me really now, not so much anymore about bringing up from the subconscious all these limiting beliefs and where it's coming from. I've done that work. It's literally getting my nervous system ready to receive, and constantly every day working on that, especially in relation to that, but also with love or with anything, right? And that's why this body soul connection and the mind is so important. And that's a daily practice to do that, right? And I know you're doing that right now, especially with you going through your major life changes. You just, finished a 9-year relationship. You have changes going on. You within your house setting, and you eventually want to travel, move, and big things are coming your way. I'm sure you're practicing that now even more so. And with the current astrology and the collective energy and the cosmology and everything that's going on, there's so much, right? That's why this is so important to remember and to come back to our center and to really ground, right?
Absolutely. We are like, the only thing we have for certain is our body, ourself. And the best way to connect with it is just touch. The touch we have of ourselves, we reconnect straight away to us. Yeah. And I do this every day now, because, when you say it just takes a couple of minutes, right? But I'm talking from experience, especially before my cancer experience. Even if I knew that with my mind, even if I knew that it would have taken 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I was not doing it, because the resistance was bigger and I was not ready yet to access that. So I would like to say, if you are trying and you don't find a consistency, it's okay. Just think about that you can do it, and you will do it if you're really willing to, but it's not coming easy. Not even the 2 minutes in the morning. They are not coming to our head, because we are so into the habit to just wake up, look at the phone, and start with the day, and go and do the breakfast, and prepare kids and take them to school. that it's so hard to just stop and tap into it. And it's normal. It's very, very normal. And that's just it's a reminder that we have to do daily, even if it's not in the morning, it's during the day, but just a couple of minutes, try to find your habit of that. And the more you do it, the more you will continue to have the consistency on that practice for sure.
Mm. Yeah, beautiful. I love what you say about the morning, and then actually do check in throughout the day, because we can do all the nice, beautiful work in the morning, but then if we don't apply it in our day, then this is like nothing, right? You can be all zen and beautiful tuned in, but then the moment you get challenged, that's the part that's really like embracing the humanness. Who are you when it gets messy? Who are you when there's stress around you? You know how you deal with it. And that's why, guys, it takes practice, right? That's why you have to do it. It's like going to the gym. You want to grow some abs, some muscles. You're not doing that by going one time. You just have to do it over and over again and consciously choose that. And yeah, even if it's so ingrained, for me, it's an absolute non-negotiable. I don't even think about it anymore. It's like breathing for me to check in. I'm constantly in tune with it. But I also feel if I am surrounded, if I'm not in my surroundings that are making me feel good, and if I'm surrounded by energies that are not serving me, instantly, my body instantly tells me it is not, I'm not kidding you. Like, I will get sick, I will get nauseous. I can be honestly not eating anything. All of a sudden I feel super bloated. I will either get, diarrhea, nausea, or maybe constipation, depending what kind of like thing is going on, headache, all of it. And I trialed, and I did journal. I can send proof to anybody who wants to see it. I journaled it over years at just different experiences. And I remember when I was in a corporate job, that was about 2018 or something, no, 1918, something like that. And every time when I was in this office, after, like, I would get sicker and sicker. I would feel like back pain. I would feel someone has the period, that this is going on, like all these energies. And I was like, what is wrong with me? And I would literally feel like I'm getting the flu, these kind of symptoms I would had. And at that time I started boxing. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to go to boxing training now? What's going on? And I started, to have these thoughts. Am I lazy? I can't be sick all the time. But here's the thing. The moment I got out of this office, I took the ferry back then. I walked to the ferry. I got the fresh air. The ocean, the water is my healing, like this is just my sanctuary there. And I started to feel better and better and better. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? However, of course, that took a toll on the body. So it really took a toll on the body. It took a lot of energy for me to get back to, a normal, like, balanced state. And it took me, like, I only was in this job for a little bit over than a year. And it was crazy, all the observations I had. And that brings me to the next question of, like, how trauma is actually stored in our body cells, emotions, and when we suppress them, they will then, if we don't move them, the blocks, they will then cause disease, just like for you, cancer, right? Would you say that was an emotional block and stuff that was suppressed? Is that what your experience was?
100%. So that's what I feel like it was definitely. But what you said before, it's the environment helps a lot. An environment make you feel good or bad or not good. How I experienced that and how much I realized and I noticed, and just to come back to what you said, I'm going through a massive change again in my life at this moment, because I just ended a 9 years relationship. And honestly, what I noticed, and this happened a month ago, so it's I'm a month in now. And what I noticed is my body feels good. My emotions are finally coming back to a state of happiness, joy, creativity. I'm not pointing the finger out, but I was not aware while I was in that relationship, that it was not good for me. And I truly believe cancer was part of that. It came up to show me to really look around myself, to really look at my body, to really look at what I am doing to nurture me and who is nurturing me around myself. And I can tell you, I had the same experience of you, feeling always like without energy, headaches. I always had cancer, but even after that, in a mood that it was not, first of all, the mood I wanted in my life, and second, it was really depleting my energy. And the moment I looked around myself, I moved to that environment. I moved to that from people that were not nurturing me. I am now feeling full of energy. My creativity came back. I really feel I'm living again. And you can tell from my skin tone. I can tell in the morning, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I can start to see my face traits are changing, are relaxed. My nervous system is absolutely starting to calm down. So that means less inflammation in your body. That means less illnesses, less problems, more energy. And yeah, like you, I really had to look around me, what's my environment, what people are that I have on my side, and make a decision. And make a decision if I wanted to go on with that and stay in that state, or to elevate myself and to be the version of myself I've always wanted to be. So, yeah. And honestly, can I say today, again, before when I was in this kind of situation, I had no abundance coming to me. I had a lot of blocks, a lot of energy blocks, but also a lot of blocks in my business, or always attracting jobs that were limiting me. Now and today, something really magic happened. While I was just walking, I walked into this beautiful shop, and I just understand that they're making these beautiful products. They are handmade products, skincare, candles. Everything is made here where I live in Cairns, in Queensland, Western Australia. And I was trying to manifest that because I really want to change the job I am. That's a corporate job. And that's not serving me anymore. So the person that was at the counter is also the boss of this business. And I asked him, "Are you looking for someone?" And he said, "Yes, I am looking for someone that would like to take on this journey with me." So who knows how it will be, but just putting out there, everything is possible. And the moment we are clear, and we are surrounded by the energy, the vibration we want, and we feel good, the abundance will come to us in any form.
100%. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what's coming out of this. And you're so right. And I experience that more and more and more, that when I'm relaxing, when I'm having fun, and it doesn't mean we're not working. I love what I'm doing. I said I will do it all day long. I can, interview people, share their stories, talk about the body, trauma release, healing, all that I just love it. And it's not about the result and the money. But the moment when I really truly relax, even with everything in life, don't think and worry about this and where's food coming from, where do I want to live, la la la. Everything just comes in so many unexpected ways, and it's so amazing. Yes, you do take aligned action for sure. You get downloads. Okay, call this person, apply for that, walk to this shop, ask, and that's the thing, right? And it's so beautiful to see that. And I love what you said with, like, I can feel it. I remember because when we started to connect at the end of last year, you were basically, the relationship was fading out. You were starting to initiate the process of leaving. And I remember seeing you first. I can see a big change, and it's so amazing. You're like glowing, you're so free. And I remember also the voice messages we sent to each other. You're like a child again, which is great because we all have this beautiful inner child that needs nurturing and wants to play and go out, explore. And this is also a good reminder what I wanted to say, because I get this asked so often. I have to remind myself about that too. When people ask, how do you know? How do you know this is the job? How do you know this is the right partner? How do you know this is the new dance group I should join? The only way you can find out is you got to do it, but be all in, not half-hearted. Don't go into the relationship like, maybe this could be the one, or maybe this job could be. Go all in, because if we do the half-hearted way, we're already blocking to be receptive to all there is. But when we go all in, yes, there is the fear, the human, it's very natural. And I can vouch that from my talk from my own experience. It's probably one of my biggest woundings, to go full on in a full on soulmate connection relationship, because I'm so scared of getting hurt because of the past experience. But then I'm like, nobody can guarantee you anything, what is going to happen. Nobody can guarantee that. So no matter how much you love someone, no matter how much you commit, or even with the money, even if you are abundant, you can lose it all tomorrow. So you have to be all in, and it's a conscious choice, like, right, every day. So guys, if you question like something, just firstly do the body, go into your body, do that exercise, and see if it's a full fuck yes or a no. Yeah. And then the second step is to go all in on trial, and that is a process. And this will give you some beautiful experiences. And there's absolutely nothing for you to lose. You can only gain. And yes, pain is inevitable in this lifetime, and that is actually helping us to expand, and helping us to expand the capacity to love, to receive more. And avoiding it is not getting to get us anywhere, right? That's that just came up, and I wanted to say that. And coming back quickly to the stored trauma and the emotions in the body, it's so interesting with the quantum embodiment that I'm doing, the program that I channeled, the download, which is like a compilation of my entire 37 years and experience. It's so interesting when I tell people, look, the moment you start releasing emotions, you will already drop at least a couple of kgs of weight that is not even yours. And I'm not saying like you should go to McDonald's and then do the crying, and no. But you know what I mean. But people think that, I just need to cry and then I can still eat the shit food. No, that's not what I'm saying. But when we start to release, allow ourselves to feel, the cortisol will drop in the body. It's just a shedding. And automatically you will be guided. You will not crave shitty stuff once you start loving yourself. You will start craving to invest in yourself, to use the best resource. And I have to experience, like with, I work with Sarah and Mark, for example, and it was all about figuring out what you truly need, what your body needs. You need something totally different than I do. It's very natural. And to allow that, and to feel into this, and to really become aware of your energies. And that brings me to the question, because you are also a genius working with the human design, and you're matching it all with the cellular upgrades on the body, and the energy and spirit and mediumship, and also multidimensional being, and embracing that, like with how this is reflected, how we process energy, and if we are not really aware of it, how it can also have an effect on our body.
100%. So doing human design, that it's a beautiful tool that I started again to use after the diagnosis, after cancer. And that helped me to come back to my body, really, because the aim of human design, and if someone doesn't know what human design is, you can use it as a map of your energy, and it's a similar astrological chart, but it's more complex with more information. But also what it does for you, it's giving you a map of your energy. So how your energy works internally, how your energy works externally, and how people perceive you and how you perceive other people, correct? And it's based on the chakras, the 7 chakras, when we call the 9 centers in our body. What I always say to my clients using this tool, it's just a tool, and that allows you to understand better what kind of energy centers do you have and how to access it. So, for example, we have a couple of centers on our head that represents our mind, thinking, mind, opinions, ideas. We have the throat center, where the energy, stagnant energy, can be not expressed. It's the manifestation center. Then we have the heart center, that is our kind of ego, the self-worth as well. The identity center, it's how we see ourselves, where we want to go. Then we have also our sacral, that is our belly area, and the sacral produce energy. And we have our root center that connects us to earth, but also it's the center of kind of stress and how much we can take on. And then we have two beautiful centers. One is the solar plexus, that is our emotional center. And the other one is the spleen. And the spleen center is the fear. Okay. All of this makes us human, makes us working with the energy, how the energy flows. If there's any block on one of this center, or if we are taking in too much, that will show up in the body as the last red flag, as a rush, as a headache, as any kind of problem you have with your body. It's a stuck energy, because what I truly believe, we are holistic. We are not just a body, we're not just mechanic, but we are energy. We have to work with these two bodies together, the energetical and the physical body. So if they work together, we can have balance in it. How to access that, it's a work, but what I would suggest is simply, as we said before, just to feel your body first, because before you feel the emotions, you have to feel where you are now. And you are a body now, you're not a spirit. We're here in this earth to live this human experience. So breathe, feel your heart. And then when you feel a big emotion coming, so when you have also a big decision connected to that emotion, try to feel how much expansion you have in your body. Is it an expansive feeling, thought? You feel expanded or you feel restricted? That will give you an indication if your body is comfortable with that or uncomfortable. And that will give you and guide you towards the decision you can take and make. In regards of the emotions, so it's another big chapter, but how we can feel the emotions, because nobody teaches us what emotions are, how to deal with them, what should I do, and how can I address that. There's a lot of resources online, but what I always recommend is the wheel of emotions that will give you a lot of, it will give a name to that emotion. And it's a wheel, we can maybe put it under Mia later, and you can identify how you feel in that moment. And the moment you identify how you feel without judgment, that's already an acknowledgement, and your body is already registering that information in a cellular level, in your DNA, because everything is connected. In human design, we have 64 gates also, and these are numbers, and they have a specific theme. And imagine that in our genetic, we have 64 genes. So it's the same similar connection. So the information on an energetic level is the same in the information on a physical level. So this is how I learned about emotions and about body and embodiment, but also how to kind of transmute what's happening in our physical experience into our energetic experience as well, and how to balance both.
Wow, it's so powerful. I absolutely love that. And I love what you said with like how we get taught to not express emotions. That's one of the biggest problems we all have. And emotions are not just like, I know people probably often refer to emotions just having a big cry, but it's any kind of emotion. It could be like joy, it could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be anything, but actually allowing it to feel it, because on an energetic level, it's all the same. It's just our labeling that we give. And sometimes that's why children are so intuitive. They throw a little tantrum and then it's gone, because their intuitive guidance is the body will not want to store that, because if they are not allowed to express that, it will get stored in the body as some sort of trauma, essentially, right? And of course, because we have certain rules, you don't want to throw a tantrum in the middle of the supermarket, be like, fuck, I mean, in my world, you could do it, but we do have the matrix, right? So will not be very well seen here. But and I always say that to people, whatever it is, I had to learn it. Honestly, it does happen on a daily basis once I started really allowing that, because there was so much suppressed emotions from my childhood to not cry, to not allow the pain. And I have little cries every day, but they're literally like could be a little deep, like sob for like 1 minute. And I'm like, hey, and next minute, I'm like, what happened? It's like, I'm just moving, letting it move through it. I embrace it. I love it. Could be like this full gratitude cry. And sometimes maybe it is a full day, half day where I just want to curl up. That doesn't happen that much anymore. There's something really major has to happen for me to experience it that way. And probably I didn't allow the space to express. But since I cleared and cleansed up my energetic field so much, my environment doesn't really happen. Or maybe you feel like you want to jump around, dance, shake it off, put your favorite song, some drumming, go barefoot, jump naked into the ocean, do whatever you need to do. But this is your innate installed system of the body telling you, I need to shake this off right now. Sometimes, for example, I usually have this when I listen to voice messages. I will do it whilst I'm moving, whether I'm cleaning, whether I'm running, whether I'm like on a cycle, but because I need to move this energy right away through my body, carry that within body. And, they really sponge it up so you can really pick that up. And also boxing helped me to express frustration and anger in a very channeled, positive and useful way to do that. That's when my whole bigger awakening journey started, like when I really started to allow myself to feel that. It was really important for me because I have so much fire energy, as you know, for my chart, so much fire, so it needs to be expressed. And that is one thing I wanted to add, the experience I had with Anna. Like, we had a couple of sessions, but the guys, for anyone who doesn't had a human design session, please do it. And Anna is your girl, because even though I was already aware of a lot of things and really in tune and studied myself so much, but I remember from that session we had, the very first one, to learn about, to accept for myself, and others need to accept that too, to have the 24-hour rule making decisions if I can, unless I'm in an emergency, I'm hanging off a cliff. I obviously don't have 24 hours to decide if I want to climb up or let go. Sorry, my humor is a little bit like extreme. But, usually when you ask me, for example, Amia, you want to do that together? I'm like, I tell you now, let me get back to you in tomorrow. The reason being why, because when I'm in a super high or low, it's not good to make any decisions, right? And I have done it so many times in the past. I was super high vibe, like, yeah, let's go. Next day, I wake up and I'm like, nope. Right. And I'm not talking about like some sort of fear. Yeah, it was not the right energy. It wasn't aligned anymore. And to do that, it was really important. And you told me about that, like my cave, like that I need my little sanctuary and I like to be in this cave, like, which is really aligned. And I realized that through my nomadic lifestyle, moving all the time to different places, I just need my little space where nobody can enter. It's just this one way in, and I'm sitting there and I can observe and I can set myself up. And when I'm ready, I'm crawling out. And that's very important for me too. And so many things you just validated, and that just helped me and confirmed and helped me to step back into my power and be like, yeah, that's me. that's me and that's who I am. Take it or leave it. And it was really beautiful. And I know there's more to come. We go deeper and deeper. And because, guys, one thing is for sure, the only person or the one person you spend the rest of your life with is with yourself. So get to know yourself. Really, really take this time and get to know yourself. And I know we are both in a similar situation right now, both singles again. I mean, I left my relationship already 2 years ago, my last relationship, but it's about really getting to know yourself, celebrating yourself, tuning in again, and, you know, shedding some layers that not serving you, and coming back to your body and really embracing this vibrant, beautiful feeling. So thank you for reminding me about that, and also being such a big anchor in my life, and because you have helped me so much and you continue to be there, because we connect on so many different levels, which brings me to one big cool thing. I think it's probably one of the last points, second to last points we talk about for the audience, which I don't often get the chance to talk about the spirit side and mediumship, because we both are seers in this way, very naturally gifted. We all are, but our channels are very open. And can you maybe talk about how this is also shown in the human design? Because I know we have similar, was it the Ashna, the head one?
Yes. So
Yes.
talking about, first of all, thank you so much for like what you said. You know, as a channel and what we offer, we are the same, very similar, and we offer what we are guided to offer. So as I helped you anchored here, you, in my experience with you, you helped me release and clear a lot in our last session we had. And I would say that really you, Mia, helped me to transcend that state that I was in. I was, again, in a very dark state because it was a very heavy moment. And you helped me clear. Like after our session, I felt clear. I knew what I wanted to do. And that was clearing my spiritual and my energetic body. So we are both complementary, one in anchoring and the other one in clearing and connecting more with spirit. So thank you. Same. And that's why we work together, right?
Yeah.
Yes, coming back to what we do, like the spiritual side, the channeling in human design. Yes, we all have. We all have the connection with universe and spirit. And what makes sometimes the difference, like to be more sensitive or to be more open, is what it's called both the head and the Ajna center. They're the two centers on this head. The centers can be defined or undefined. What does it mean? If it's defined, it's like, this is who you are, this is your opinion, and it's a sort of, not closeness, but this is it. If it's open, you are like a sponge. You are getting in, and this is the same for any other center in human design in our body. You're getting in all the informations. So having a head center and Ajna center open, that means that you are receiving directly, and everything that is coming through, it's coming through your head. It's coming through you. And it's a sort of energy coming down. And we both have these center open. So that's what I call it. When I was very little, I could feel presence. I could have sensations that maybe the normal kids couldn't. Or maybe they did, but it was very powerful for me. I could really feel the subtle energies. Just I could feel someone was walking towards my doorhouse and not knowing they were out there. And I couldn't explain why. So yes, these are the two centers in human design that if you have open in that, that means you can directly connect with spirit, and you can definitely channel. But this is everybody, even if you have if you're defining these centers, depends how open you are and how much you work towards the energy and how much open with yourself you are. So that depends, but definitely it's part of it. It's part of it.
Mm. It's so beautiful. And I love, because it's very important to emphasize that we all have the ability to be open, and it's a choice. And obviously it's a practice too. You have to practice this and to receive. And that's a very unique soul language, and reading the energies and trusting that, completely trusting that. And it really takes you to strip off the mind and the ego and all that kind of stuff. And it's not about a power game, like, oh, I am so powerful, I can see and feel and whatnot, because everybody can do that. And also, guys, really important to remember that when you go and have readings done and stuff, that firstly, I always say, tune into yourself. Always listen to yourself first before you go to the external, because it's so easy. And I get it, when we want to know something, or something is up, or we're very, very low, it's so easy to call up our best friend right away. Well, to go on social media, try to find like a motivational reel, and that's all beautiful. It's so beautiful that we have that. But first, the first couple of minutes or even hour or whatever, do and tune in with yourself, and then come from an empowered place when you already know, okay, this is what I receive, and then confirm, validate with the external, or get more insights, or like some help and advice, which is great, right? And also with when we do readings, like what I've experienced in the past working with clients, I always say, don't take that as like something, this is how it goes. It's a map. It's something that is possible for you to see, and it's actually just an activation for you to remember your own power. My ultimate goal when I work with people in the quantum embodiment for 6 months, it's that they no longer need me afterwards. They don't need me in the first place anyway, but some people just need to be activated to remember. That's the part. But not getting attached to that, and really actually empowering them, and to tune in, and that's with everything, with your intuition. And yes, I understand not everybody's open to that, not everybody believes in spirit, past lives, and that's totally fine. So guys, take what suits and resonates with you, and leave what doesn't. I always say that, okay? But I really wanted to give some listeners who are into this the chance to, listen to this kind of stuff as well, because it's very important. We are passionate about that. We're living and breathing it and embodying it. And I believe it's such a beautiful, beautiful gift to have and to share. And I feel very honored that I chose to walk this path, because I helped so many people connecting with their deceased loved ones, and it just opened something up within them, and they were forever grateful. Because I remember when I was a girl and I lost my father at a young age, at 13, all I ever wished for was to have this one more moment, right? And obviously that was our soul contract. That was a pre-birth plan, that this happened this way. So I actually keep my channels open, keep it open and keep practicing it. And also got challenged in my belief system, because I knew back then and there, this is not it. It can't be it. This is not like how it's, this is not it. It must be somewhere the connection that led me on this path. And now I can give that back to people, and it's so beautiful, right? So it's beautiful that we have this reminder. So thank you for also being a channel here for humanity and doing that. And I wanted to ask the question you mentioned, that I remember with the collective, just to wrap up the beautiful space with what's happening with our body on a cellular level, the human design and the new human, because everybody is feeling it in some shape or form. And we talk about the body, and our bodies got prepared already a while back before, because we are leading the path here for other people to see that and remember. And there are so many people now talking about like ailments in the body, or you can see like a whole hype of people like wanting to actually really invest into their vessel, and they get more aware of the connection between soul and emotion. So what's your little update on that for the future that's yet to come? You said something beautiful about in a voice message you sent to me yesterday, I think, about it's kind of to acceptance is to start.
Yes.
What does it mean?
So in human design, we call it the new paradigm. And it's a sort of, new human being. It's the human 2.0, right? But mostly, and this is again, there's no supportive information, because I had so many people asking me, what is about? What can you tell me? And honestly, there's no information yet, or not information, I would say, maybe proofs that this is happening, but it is happening. And this is more of a channel message. So we came from the last, I would say, 3-4 months where we were in a very dense energy, almost quite dark energy that passed through our bodies. Because how I see the energy as well is passing through our bodies and leaving information in our genetic, in our genes, in our being, like physical being. Okay. And what it's leaving and what it's just passing through our bodies, it leaves an information. And this information is, hey, be ready. Be ready on changes that's happening around with everything and everybody, and the energy that it's growing and growing, to prepare ourselves to be ready for these new transmutation. So during these 4 months, we really experienced a lot of body acheness, headaches. I had a lot of headaches. I had like muscles soreness. Other people were having like very, very bad belly sores, and it was quite a deep physical feeling. All right. So now we're coming out, and it's just happening in the last, I would say, not even a couple of weeks, probably in the last week or so. The energy is less dense. It's now, the body has been informed, and the cells of our body are ready. They are kind of upgraded, and we are ready to receive now, to receive what it's coming to light us up and to move us forward, to move us to a new version of ourselves, because the last version of ourselves doesn't work anymore. The matrix we've been in, it's not working. And you can see these into every aspect of our social life. You can see in politics, you can see how many people, even in the entertainment world, a lot of people are coming out with a new truth, with truth that we didn't know. So all the secrets, all of that darkness, it is dissipating, and the truth, it's coming up to surface. And that's what's happening to us as bodies and as souls as well. We are getting ready to show our true self, the awakening that is happening to people. And that's why there's so many people now accessing the spiritual world, right? And managing and traveling this new world that before maybe were very logic. But this is a proof that the human being is awakening. It's trying to push out as much as we can the true version of ourselves, the authenticity. The lies are not working anymore. And it's a sort of, imagine that we were kind of hypnotized before, and now the spell disappeared, and we can see with our real eyes. We are not hypnotized anymore. We can see the truth that's happening. And again, this will show in a lot of the physical world changes as well. That's why we had so many earthquakes. We had a lot of natural accidents really happening around the world. And everything is just because we are assessing ourselves, our energies, our bodies, and we are kind of becoming into that middle point of balance. So from now on, we will see a lot of beautiful things happening, a lot of beautiful energy coming through, and it will dissipate a little bit that darkness that we had experienced in the last months or so. Yeah.
Beautiful. I am excited because I can relate to the dark phase. It was so heavy, and especially when you work and like healing space and hold space for other beautiful souls, it was really heavy. And going through our own transformations, I had the similar experience. My body was shedding so much, and of course letting go of trauma and stored trauma and the nervous system recalibration, all that stuff. But it was really, really heavy. And now we just spoke about it before, like it's so like electrifying at the moment. If anybody can relate to that, I also know astrology wise this weekend was a beautiful, beautiful energy. I can't remember what exactly was happening, but basically kundalini experiences very much heightened, Shakti rising. I could feel so much vibration. I couldn't sleep properly. I was waking up at 3:30, be like, okay, let's go, what am I doing? And the thing here is that's all pretty amazing. And then again, to remind ourselves to come back to the grounding, to come back into the body, because it's really important to help our body to adapt and upgrade and recalibrate with all that energy too. And also I wanted to just mention that because beautiful now, we coming from this dark phase and it goes into expansion, and that is the language of the universe. Whenever we are about to expand in whatever area in our life, there is something that will happen that will test us, because we have to let go of this old beingness, of this old vessel. Like just said you had before, it's Anna's first podcast, by the way. Can you believe it, guys? She should have been on so many before, but now it's time anyway. What happened? Your hot water didn't work. You had issues, right? And I was just thinking to myself when you messaged me, it's because you're about to expand. You get challenged in that way. It will show up in those things, and then we had trouble with our connection, here with the internet, with the Wi-Fi and stuff like that, and the recordings. This is because the message we bring out is helping other people. It's expansion, but we can only do and convey that message if we expand ourselves, if we expand our vessels. And that's why we have to go through this experience. So we had the choice. We could have said, oh, let's reschedule because this is all not working and comfortable. Or we said, no, you know what? We're going to make this happen. We don't even know if this is recording right now, if this, because we had issues, we just said we're going to trust it. And also, I believe, because even though if it's not recorded, it would be a shame, but we already transmitting the energy to the collective. It's all happening on an energetic level. And so we're already doing the work, which is so beautiful. And what I wanted to finish off the whole thing, because I know we can talk forever. Two things. What would be one, if you could transmit one light code or one frequency, one body-based truth to the audience right here, right now? I know it's hard to nail it down to one because there are millions, but one that you think right now that's obviously a key part for you, but also will help the collective to anchor into this energy. What would that be? Like, you can tune in and just, give you a second.
I'll just take a moment.
Okay.
So I would like to transmit the fact that to be present, we need to be aware of our senses. So in order to be aware of our senses, just put your hands on your ears and expand that. And feel the difference between having the ears covered and take it out, and what happens, and we can hear again.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And we can do that with all the senses, with the smell, closing our nose and just smell. We can do it with our eyes, closing the eyes. And what's the experience when we open the eyes, what we see around us?
Mm.
We can do this with all the senses, and that will connect us more with the body and here now, and it will help us to attune to what's happening as well.
That's amazing. I love that. I feel like especially the ears and the eyes for me right now was really like, you know, the ears was like I was getting pulled in my energy field, like boom, completely in and then coming out. It's such a beautiful little practice you can do anytime, or even when you're in nature, just focus on this one tree, this leaf moving in the wind or whatever, to just channel the focus, because it is really important to come back to the ground and come back to your center with all the noise, with everything that's going on, whether it's like great stuff, you know, like expansive, super exciting, or if it's challenging in whatever shape or form. This is really, really important. And that's the only way how you can really stay tuned and true to yourself. There's no other way, right? So that's perfect. I love that. It's so beautiful. And you have something exciting coming up, because I really wanted listeners to know that you have your very first retreat in Bali. Tell us a bit about what's going to happen. When is that? And I know we will leave the details for you guys as well in the description box, so you don't miss out. And because we have also a retreat coming up at the end of the year, sometime soon. Yeah. But talk about yours first. That's happening.
So excited. And again, this happened just because it was a manifestation. And this retreat happened in a way that it was absolutely natural, and it had no pushing, and it came up just from nowhere. That's the beauty of the connection, when you expand your energy and you clean up everything that it's not serving you anymore, and you allowed in the new energy, and you don't have expectations. And that day I had no expectation. I met this beautiful woman. It's the manager of the place where we're going to do the retreat at Bali Palms. And we just talked about what we do, and we created a retreat in that day. So it will happen between the 20th and the 26th of August this year. It's called Soul Awakening Women's Retreat in Bali Palms. And it will be 7 days and 6 nights. It is a retreat to reconnect with the power and the creativity, and to recharge, to nurturing mind, body, and soul, and also to restore, also cultivating self-love and presence. And it's for all the women that want to do that. And like I did when I was in this recent last very heavy moment, I really needed to retreat somewhere to recharge myself, to restore myself. So I went to this place called Bali Palms, and I experienced this retreat on myself, and it was beautiful. Also, we will not have devices, so it will be a no phone retreat. So that's massive. It's in a 5 acres of lush Balinese landscape. There's even a waterfall inside the premises. And I just tell you a little bit what we're gonna do, because there are so many activities we are planning that you will have not only a very luxurious accommodation, but a pick-up and drop off from the place where you are, especially the airport. We will have brunch and dinner as a buffet included in the price. And then we will have Balinese ceremonies. We have Balinese cleansing ceremony that is very powerful, a 60-minute massage. We will have classes every day, yoga and meditation. And we will do also a very interesting thing, because obviously what I do is also connect to the land, again, to ground. And the land of Bali gave me a lot. It's nourished me a lot. So we wanted to include the Balinese culture. So we're going to do Balinese dance and the Balinese offerings that are so important for them and for the culture. There will be journaling, yoga by the beach, and also a goodie bag for everybody. It's going to be amazing, and I'm so excited. I absolutely can't wait for it. So if you have time, really, 2026 of August, you can contact me or contact directly Bali Palms, and they will explain and give you all the information needed, but it's going to be epic. And obviously, I will do also human design, and I will facilitate with other two facilitators. Elsa is a beautiful voice coach, so it will help release emotions and working with voice and sound. And then we will have a beautiful, amazing sound bath healing as well at the end to celebrate and reconnect everything. But I'm so excited.
Yay! I am so excited for this. Who knows? Maybe I managed to say to join that one, but who knows the timing? Because I will be coming over to Australia to that side around September. That's who knows? We're gonna be adaptable to whatever happens. But I'm so excited, guys. So if you want to find out more, I will leave the details in the description box below. And don't miss that. If you feel like you really need this upgrade, you really want to start to embodying everything, feeling your soul, and like just go through this beautiful experience and really, really reconnect with your beingness, then this is it. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can then throw them all, and she will be happy to answer them all. And yeah, I think for today that's what we finish off with. Is there anything you would like to add? Anything that you would just want to say just before we finish off?
Just one more thing, that it's really giving me a lot of joy. And again, it's about movement. So I usually do yoga. Then it took me a lot to just get into the practice, but I didn't want to box myself into that. So what I started to do is adding movement to my yoga practice. And the movement are related to our centers. So the human design centers and the movement and the yoga movement are all connected. And I've created these kind of ritual for myself daily that nobody really, I'm not following anybody rules. I created myself. So I just want to inspire everybody to just follow what you feel when you wake up or before to go to bed. Move your body as you feel. Don't follow anybody else's rules, but what feels good for you today, just apply it. So that's all. And I want to just thank you so much for inviting me. And I really enjoyed it and had so much fun. Thank you so much, Mia. You're an amazing host.
You're welcome. I had so much fun too. And thank you for sharing your whole being and being so vulnerable and open and helping others to do the same, giving the permission. And I hope, guys, you enjoyed this episode and feel super activated. And I hope that we helped you to activate some memory within yourself and really tuning into your body and starting to appreciate it and really love it, because we only have this one vessel. It's like what we rented for this lifetime to do all the beautiful things we want to do. And if there was anything that stuck out to you guys, just maybe take a snippet or a comment below, or you have specific questions for Anna specifically, just DM me or put the questions in the comments. And there's more to come. And I leave you with that. Lots of love, guys, and hear you next time. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Din's Talk. I hope today's conversation sparked something within you. Remember, you have the power to align with your soul, take bold action, and live a life fueled by passion. Don't forget to subscribe, share with others, and leave a comment if this episode resonated with you. And as always, do it, never stop. Until next time, keep claiming your fire and your power.